word list for this unit. What kind of vocabulary will we learn? First of all, we have here a picture, a place with trees and animals. A place with trees and animals. I was just talking about this place. Do you remember what the name of this place is? Starts with an F. Of course, it is a forest. When you say forest, remember with the F, your teeth are on your bottom lip. Forest. So this is a forest. A place with trees and animals. What's next? Next we have a safe place to be. Remember this cute guy right here? Right? He's looking out from his home. Well, he, of course, lives in the forest, or she, we're not sure, but they live in the forest, this type of animal, and many types of animals will make what inside a tree, right? They will make a shelter. Shelter. And shelter is the same word, or it's the same meaning, really, for many animals. It's their home, isn't it? Right? So this animal will find shelter in a tree. They'll make it their home. So shelter is like a home for many types of animals in the forest. Okay, what else? We have, what's this boy doing, right? He's holding on to a tree and he's going up into the tree. Here it says to go up like a monkey, right? So if you think about monkeys, we saw the picture before of the monkey. What do monkeys do really well, right? They can go up in the tree very quickly. What is the verb that we use to describe this action? What is this boy doing? He is climbing. Of course, climb is just the root form. Climb, to climb. He is climbing the tree. Whoops, he is climbing the tree. The boy is climbing the tree. Can you climb a tree? But be careful, right? Make sure your mother or your father is watching you when you climb the tree. It can be dangerous, so be careful. But he is climbing the tree. Okay. The next, we saw this picture before, right? Here is a bird. Now, a home built by a bird. Before we talked about shelter, right? And we saw the squirrel, the cute animal looking out from the shelter. This is a type of shelter, but it's a special word for birds. Only birds make this, right? What do we use for this word? We call it a nest. A nest. So when we talk about a nest, you should think, it's a bird, right? A bird makes a nest. And a nest is the home for the bird. It's their shelter. It's also their home. For birds, we say it is a nest. Okay? Interesting. Okay, now we have another type of home, right? We've talked about shelter. We've talked about nest. Now this is another type of home, and this is an interesting looking animal here, right? Kind of looks like a dog, but it's not really a dog. It's a different type of animal. And this animal will live in a home in the ground. So many animals will dig in the ground and they will make their shelter or their home. There's a special word for this. What is it? We say it's a cave, okay? Now sometimes animals will make a small cave, or maybe there's a big cave that they don't make, but they will live in there. What lives in caves? Well, wild dogs, perhaps hyenas. A hyena is a type of dog. A hyena is a type of wild dog in Africa. This looks like a hyena. But also big animals like bears, right? Be careful if you're in the woods and you see a bear. Bears are very big animals and they also live in caves, okay? So a cave is another type of shelter, okay? These are all shelters. A nest is a shelter and a cave is a shelter. Okay, another word that we have here is the plant part. So it's a part of a plant. The part of a plant that holds the seeds. So the seeds, of course, are what the plant makes. And the seeds will go into the ground and make a new plant, right? Seeds are how plants make more plants. What do we call the part of the plant that holds the seeds? For many plants, it's called the fruit, right? So bananas are a type of fruit. Apples are a type of fruit. Watermelon, subak, right? That's a type of fruit. And if you look at each of these fruits, they all have seeds in them. And if you take those seeds and you put them in the ground, a new plant will grow. Okay? So we call that fruit. Okay? Not all plants, but many plants have fruits, and that's how they distribute their seeds. Okay, insect. We have an insect here, and of course, another word for insect is bug. You may know this word from the movies, right? So in English, of course, there's a lot of words that have two words that mean the same thing, right? Insect. Insect is more formal. It's a little bit more of a difficult word, isn't it? It's much easier to say bug, bug, right? And that's what insects are. Insects are bugs. And this is an example of a bug, right? So you can say bug or you can say insect. Same thing. What is this? We talked about this before. Do you remember what I said at the beginning of this lecture? This is an animal with long arms, right? He has long arms, right? And a long tail. So a long tail. Not just long arms, but also a long tail. And what type of animal is this? Do you remember what I said at the beginning of this lecture? We said monkey. So say it with me. Monkey. Monkey. Okay? So this is a monkey, and we learned about the monkey. We also, when we looked at the picture with climb, the boy is going up the tree like a monkey. Monkeys are very good at climbing, aren't they? So you find monkeys in forests, but not cold forests, not up in Korea. Well, maybe up in Korea. And in Japan you find monkeys, but also more commonly in the south, where the forests are warmer. There's many monkeys that live in the forests, in the warmer forests in the south. Okay? Okay, the next one. A place where people live. We talked about this already in terms of animals, right? We've talked about shelter. We've talked about nests for birds. We talked about caves for wild dogs or bears. But people, where do people live? Of course, we live in a house, right? People build a house, right? You could also say home, but home and house is where somebody lives. House means the building. Home is like a place that you're emotionally connected to. This is my home. This is where I live. People can live in an apartment. They can live in a tent. They can live in a cave. Those are all homes, right? But a house is something that's built like this, right? It has doors. It might have a chimney. It has walls that were built by people. So we've seen a lot of different types of shelters because this is also a shelter. So we've seen nest, cave, house. These are all shelters. Okay. Next, we have something used to travel on water. Can you walk on water? No, you'll sink, right? Be careful, right? You jump in the water, you will sink. But if you want to travel over water, on top of the water, so you don't sink, what do you travel in? What is this? This, of course, is called a boat. A boat. And some boats are very small, like this. Some boats are very big. They're like hotels, and they go across the water, okay? So something used to travel on water is a boat. Okay, this young girl is doing something very good, right? She's helping her mom out. She is getting rid of some dirty stuff on the ground. So if you say something is not dirty, if it's not dirty, the opposite of dirty, what do we say? It is clean. So clean can be an adjective, right? We can use it as an adjective. It is clean. We can use it as an adjective. The floor is clean. We can also use it as a verb. Please clean the floor. So we can use it in two ways, okay? as an adjective, it is clean, the floor is clean. Or if mom sees some dirt on the floor, she will say to her daughter, please clean the floor. And that's a verb. Please clean up your room, right? Please clean up your desk, for example. Okay, so we can use it as an adjective or as a verb very commonly. Okay, the next one, an animal with feathers and wings. We already talked about this type of animal, right? This type of animal, what type of shelter does it make in the trees? It makes a nest. What is it? Of course, we know it's a bird. And there are many different kinds of birds, right? Many different shapes, different sizes, different colors. But we all, if they have feathers and wings, we say it is a bird. Okay? So we see a bird here.